Every single successful business, whether it's a local coffee shop or a global giant, really needs a clear management structure, because without it, things can get messy, and I mean fast. So let's dive into how a little bit of order can create a whole lot of efficiency.
Okay, does any of this sound familiar? You're waiting on a decision that seems to take forever. Messages are getting totally lost between departments. And those goals you were so excited about at the start of the quarter, yeah, they now feel like a distant memory. Like, these aren't just minor annoyances, they're actually symptoms of a much deeper structural problem.
And this kind of chaos, it has a real cost. It absolutely drains your resources, it slows down progress, and it can seriously damage morale and even your customer relationships. The main thing to remember here is that a lack of structure isn't just frustrating, it's expensive. So, how do we fix it? How do you bring order to all that chaos? Well, one really powerful answer is a concept called centralized management. It's a structure that's specifically designed to fight the exact problems of drift and disconnection that we've been talking about.
So, in simple terms, what is it? It's a structure that keeps the big calls at the top. The leadership team, the folks with that big picture view, they set the strategy and the standards. Then it's up to the rest of the team to go out and execute that vision.
I love this analogy. It's often compared to a team sharing a single playbook, and it's such a perfect way to think about it. I mean, if everyone on a football team is running a different play, what do you get? You get chaos. But when they all work from the exact same playbook, their actions become coordinated, efficient, and they're all aligned toward one single goal: winning.
Okay, so it's one thing to talk about a playbook in theory, but what does it actually look like when a real company puts one into action? Let's get into a real-world example.
So, let's imagine a retail chain with stores all over the country. In a centralized system, it's the head office making all the key decisions. They're setting the prices, creating the national marketing campaigns, and negotiating big contracts with suppliers for every single store. The individual store managers, they don't have to worry about any of that. Their job is to execute that unified plan perfectly. And the results? You guessed it, total alignment.
This is where you really see the difference pop. With a centralized approach, every single customer gets a consistent experience. The same price, the same marketing message, it doesn't matter which store they walk into. Now, the alternative is just chaos. You'd have one store running a discount that undercuts another one, which just confuses customers and creates weird internal competition. Centralization stops all of that in its tracks.
Oh, and there's also a huge financial advantage. Think about it. When the head office bundles up the orders for every single store, they can negotiate much better rates from suppliers. That's the power of buying in bulk. It leads to massive cost savings that no single store could ever hope to achieve on its own.
So beyond that consistent messaging and the cost savings, this kind of unified system really unlocks a whole new level of efficiency across the entire organization. This is where that playbook really starts to pay off, big time.
This slide really gets to the heart of how disaster can strike when departments aren't talking to each other. We've all seen it happen, right? Marketing launches this huge, amazing campaign, but oops, operations can't actually handle the demand. Or sales promises a delivery date that the warehouse just laughs at. A centralized leader who has that bird's eye view of all these moving parts can prevent these super costly disconnects before they even happen.
So ultimately, a unified system just creates so much clarity. Communication gets better because everyone knows where the decisions are coming from. Resources like money and people are put to much better use. And processes get streamlined, which cuts down on duplicate tasks and reduces all that unnecessary administrative busy work for everyone.
But I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds a little rigid, doesn't it? Does giving all the control to the top mean that nobody else gets a say? Well, let's talk about how the best companies find that perfect balance. This is the big question, right? If all the decisions are coming from on high, does that just stifle creativity and stop the people on the front lines from having any input at all? It's a totally valid concern.
And the answer is, it absolutely doesn't have to. The smartest organizations, they use more of a hybrid approach. The big strategic decisions, yeah, they still come from the top. But that leadership is actively, constantly listening to feedback from their teams on the ground. This is what makes sure the playbook stays connected to reality and can be adjusted whenever it needs to be.
I mean, just think about McDonald's for a second. No matter where you are in the entire world, you know exactly what you're going to get. That incredible consistency is a direct result of a highly centralized system for their branding, their menu, and their operations. It's pretty much the ultimate playbook in action. Or how about FedEx?
To manage a global logistics network that complex, where millions of packages have to get to the right place at the right time every single day, you need absolute central control over sorting, tracking, and transportation. It just wouldn't work any other way.
So, you see, it's not just about control for control's sake. It's about creating the clarity, the accountability, and the efficiency that lets a business run like a well-oiled machine and scale up effectively. And that leaves us with one final question to think about for any organization. Is your playbook ready for growth?